everyone, Mark Hackle, Macomb County Executive, Dan Accavetti, the supervisor of the township here in Chesterfield. Well, I tell you what, it's exciting. Most of the updates that we're doing are centered around the coronavirus and the issues as far as the numbers, the data, statistics, and at times people kind of want to get away from that. And I have found, and I got to believe Dan has too, during this crisis, people have gotten more connected with their community, their neighborhoods, and their families. And nothing is more important, I think, to many of us than our recreational opportunities and that relaxing time. And I tell you, I'm seeing it around the neighborhoods. People walking in the neighborhood, people using the metro parks, the trails, and I got to believe you're seeing some of that too. And as a kid growing up, that was important to me, connecting with nature and connecting with my community, my neighborhood.
Absolutely. The last, no question, in mid-March, coronavirus took the air out of our entire community, our entire country. And what I've seen more than anything is that our people want to get outside, they want to recreate, they want to do whatever they can do safely, and this nature center is going to be a very quick, easy way for people to get out, enjoy the great outdoors, and I think it's a breath of fresh air to move us forward out of this coronavirus discussion and into protecting our natural resources, which is what this project's going to do.
And you're fortunate. I mean, your background, obviously you're a construction guy, you know about land and development and all that, but this is Chesterfield Township. I mean, you talk about uniquely poised for opportunities with recreation. You talk about Lake St. Clair. I call it the busiest freshwater lake than anywhere else in the entire country. It is the greatest of the Great Lakes, even though it's not one of the 5 Great Lakes. But with that being said, we've got 27 distinct municipalities that make up Macomb County. Chesterfield has this incredible shoreline on Lake St. Clair, and yet there are tributaries that run into it. And so creating these opportunities for families to recreate, Brandenburg Park, talking about the Weber Paddle Park, and now what you've got going on here. So that vision you had of looking at this, using 6 Rivers Land Conservancy to say, hey, we need to protect this natural resource here on the Salt River. How did that come to be? I mean, that's a great find, great move.
Well, you nailed it at the beginning. You look at a lot of development, a lot of growth. However, we've got Lake St. Clair, and the most amazing asset I would argue in the world.
I'd agree.
For July, August, and September. There's no place better between the flats. Chesterfield has 27 miles of hardened shoreline. That's if you count all the canals. We have about approximately 5 miles of Lake St. Clair frontage. We have 50 miles of drains, all of which are assets. They just thank you to Candace Miller's leadership. They're starting to get cleaned up. They're starting to get character in bridges. And we have the Salt River. It's a watershed that is clean and that has a lot of development pressure, but a lot of opportunity as a community to preserve the land for recreation and to help the environment. The less development around those high impact waterways now will pay dividends years into the future. So it started with that vision of protecting as much of our vital waterways as possible, partner with 6 Rivers to get our fair share of the Michigan Department of Natural Resources Trust Fund dollars, which generally, historically have gone to the UP in northern Michigan, which has got amazing, beautiful assets. But we got our own amazing, beautiful assets right here in Macomb, and we're doing everything we can in Chesterfield to get our fair share and preserve these waterways for a long time. I think we're moving fast.
And I think what people didn't realize, when they say that fair share, unfortunately, I think a lot of times is there's a match. It's not that you're just going to give you that money from the DNR Trust Fund. There's got to be a match and an ask for some of these, funds for projects. And so when I first took over as county executive, I had people like Jerry Santoro from my planning department, and at the time it was Tony Forlini, who was one of the state reps, saying, hey, you got to come up with some money match for this. There's tons of money available for you, but you got to want to be a partner with that. And so fortunately, we've been able to work with people like 6 Rivers Land Conservancy and Chris Bunch and his folks. And now you got Gene Lavelle from First State Bank. I mean, it's incredible partnerships to say, hey, we can help leverage, some funding opportunities to secure that, to go after these grants. And so we're seeing that now. And again, this was quite, I guess, if you will, a find and a great opportunity for people in the neighborhood. And credit goes to you and your board.
Thank you. It checked a lot of the boxes. So that DNR Trust Fund grant money are oil and gas reserves on state property, and the mission of that is to preserve more property for public use. Now it needs to check some boxes. It needs to have an environmental purpose, and it needs to have an impact. So this specific parcel checked a lot of the boxes. Over 2,000 foot of Salt River frontage, wetlands issues, amazing trees and wildlife, and development pressure. So I do believe it's going to score very, very high with the DNR Trust Fund grant. We are going to provide a match of our own to help. It is a competitive grant.
Right.
However, I'm confident that this piece checks so many of the boxes just because of the impact it's going to have, and that was very well stated. And we're going to participate. We're going to keep pushing, and this is just a really good start.
Yeah, and to add to that, you talked about some of the trees and stuff around here. Right behind us is a black, I believe it's a walnut tree, is what they call it, or
yes,
black walnut tree.
And just the character is
it's over 100 years old. You know, that's what I'm hearing. So it's amazing what we've got in our backyard, and what we got is a cleanup going on here today. Not only a ribbon cutting and a kind of a transfer of the asset over to Chesterfield Township, but also this whole idea about being a groundbreaking moment and kind of the shovel ready. We're going to be getting on kayaks and kayaking over to Weber Park. So great opportunity, and I got to tell you, just even having some of the kids out here doing some of the pickup, it gets them away from the Xbox, those phones and games, and I think even they kind of enjoy it. So, with that being said, credit to what's going on with Dan and his team out here in Chesterfield Township. But for those of you back at home, we want to continue to remind you to keep you and your family safe, but get out there and enjoy the assets we have here in Macomb County. Make Macomb your home isn't just a theme, it's about us really enjoying the opportunities here closer to home. So continue to keep you and your family safe, and once again, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks.